Okay, so you click on that, and most of you did. You have to, right? If you don't know. So this tells you what to do, and these are the expected result. You know, you can input different data set, but this is roughly what it shows, right? How your program should run. So that is that, and now also, I have this programming grading rubric here. For every assignment project, you will have this. So you have this. I will grade your assignment based on this. Okay. So that's how I grade it. And you can click on view rubric, go there, and you should be able to see how I take points off, how I commented on your program. Okay, I made comments, so make sure you read those comments because they will tell you why, and also they will help you in your future assignments. Even for some of you, I may not have taken points off, but I do give you suggestions. So please read the comments. Okay, that's that. Another thing is you must, for this one, it's the Java source file. I said that. Okay. So for this one, yes. For future assignments, make sure, I'm so glad I did not take points off for that. I forgot I only asked for that. Okay, for your future assignments, if you look at this one, so submit your file. Okay. So what to submit? I didn't tell you what to submit. For this one, it has to be the zipped file of the project folder. Okay, for this one, you will submit the zip file. For the first one, it's only one class. That's why I said just the Java file. So how do you submit the project folder? The project as a whole. You go to modules. If you go to modules, I can link it in the chapter 4 module also, but here, programming project submission, creating Word document with screenshots, finding the .java file, etc. Is this, I have to look at this, but I want you to submit the project as a whole next time, not just the Java file. Okay, I will check this video to see if it is the whole project. Okay, so that's how to submit. Now, here is a project that I want to show you. That is done very similarly to what you have done, but it did something that is an improvement. It's more efficient. So let's look at this, okay? This is the header I was talking about when I graded your assignment. That's the header. And once again, let me go there again. Okay, chapter 6. So this is the assignment, right? If you go down here, these are the long descriptions for each one. So you should be able to simply copy this and paste it, right? So make sure you do your header correctly. Where is here? Okay, so that's the header, and the package. One or two of you did not have package. You need to make sure you package it. The student gave me a good package name. I just changed it to mine so that I don't have to write. This is from a student, okay? And this is the class name. You have to name it whatever the chapter name is, and followed by your first name, your last name. For this one, it is named so. For your project later, you just need to make your project name like this. When you create the project, you see for mine, here is the project, right? It's named as COSC 1437. But for your project, for example, PP4, project 4, chapter 4 project, you will name it as chapter 4 PP, your first name, your last name. That's your project name. And then your class name, you know, one is a dog, the other one is a dog driver. You can name your file name accordingly, but your project name has to be chapter 4 PP, your first name, your last name. The reason is very simple. When I download your project and I import it here, okay, you have to make it so that different so that I can import every one of yours. If you all name it as chapter 4 PP or dog or something, a lot of times there will be duplications and I cannot import your project and I cannot grade it. So name your project correctly, chapter 4 PP, first name, last name, so that I can import it all and grade it. And this is how you named it, right? Okay, so that's the naming convention, your project, not the file. For this very first one, it is the file, the class, because I'm only asking for the Java file. For the next one and the future ones, your project name has to be correct. That's the project name. And your file name will be named meaningfully by you. Okay. So some of you did not declare final variables, and this is how you do that, right? And your final variables by convention must be in uppercase. If you have lowercase, it still compiles and runs, but it's not the convention. So I want you to get into the good habit from the very beginning. So I took points off if you did not do that. That's the final variables. You have 3, and then these are really easy. Most of you did your daily steps as an int. That's fine, as long as when you calculate, you cast it into a double so that your average is a double, correct double. If you simply do add 2 int together and assign the sum of the 2 integers into a double, that doesn't work, right? No, when you do division, when you divide your total steps an int divided by 7, which is an int, then you assign it to a double. That doesn't work because that's integer division. It's not accurate. If you look at the project description, I said accurate daily average. So this student decided, okay, I'm just going to make it easier. So everything is a double so that to avoid that integer division problem. And this is the actual credit the student did, right? You simply define this decimal format, declare, instantiate this object and use it to format later. That's actual credit. And so 1 or 2 of you used next. That's good, that's okay. But when you do college, it's not okay because college is more than 1 name. When you do next, it only reads 1 name. When I enter 2 or 3 names, it doesn't work. Okay. And so that's that. And this is all done, right? How old are you? This student is doing next int. And do you remember why this is done? Anyone? After you read the int, why does the student did this line? Why? Do you remember? This is actually on your test also. Yes, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it reads the next line character that gets left behind by the next int.
Yes, very good, excellent. That's correct. Okay, in this program, it's not necessary because you're not entering anything else. However, this is good because you're simply getting rid of it in order not to have that problem, right? Okay, so most of you did this correctly. You did the for loop, right? That's correct. Okay, now the thing is, most of you did this. How many steps did you walk on Monday? And then you said most of you did this. You put all this here in every one of them. And that's the difference. So if you look at this, right, you actually do not need to repeat these statements, because you only need to, what you need to change for each day is only the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Other things are all the same. So that's why you don't need to do this, right? You can just, oh, it doesn't let me undo this one. So I'm going to delete that. So you can just use this switch statement to get the day correctly. And then for each day, you know, remember, once you get the correct case, you break out of the switch statement. So you will execute this one and you will add this one. Okay, so if you look at your assignment, your project, most of you put those two statements here also. So that's something you want to pay attention to. And then after that, you calculate the daily average. A lot of you did the costing for your int steps. That's great. But several of you did not cost. So you do have divide by zero, not divide. You do have an integer division problem. Okay, and then output. And this is where the extra credit is, format, right? You format it into 2 decimal places. And this is the if else statement. And some of you did daily average greater than, and then else. That would not be correct. It should be greater than or equal to, because that's specified in the project description. So that's it. Okay, that's this program. Any questions, everybody? No? No questions? Okay, if you don't have questions, I'm going to